Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I've got with me today Elijah and Max. Guys, how's it going? Max, we haven't seen you for a little bit. You've been busy, I guess, working, so it's good to
Yeah, I've
see
been
you
all over
back.
the map.
Yeah, that's cool. How's things been going, guys? What you been up to? What you been watching? What's been new that you've seen in the last week or
I've
couple of
been
weeks?
watching all the I get the SAG screeners, so I've been going
Oh,
through like
cool.
basically everything.
Uh-huh.
So I'm getting caught up. I've gotten all the movies that are at least the award films.
Right.
So I've just been going through like
Okay.
basically all the movies that I'm getting screeners for.
Anything interesting? Anything out there that's worth checking?
I mean things that just weren't hitting as hard. Killers of the Flower Moon or whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
The title.
Oh, okay.
It just
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna really like it,
Yeah.
and it just didn't. It wasn't grabbing me like I
Really?
thought it was going to. I mean, it's the
Okay.
same cinematographer as There Will Be Blood, and
Right.
I thought I was going to really dig it,
Mm-hmm.
but it just
And it's
wasn't grabbing
Scorsese.
me. It's slow,
Right.
and I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
But the Holdovers was really good. I like the Holdovers. That was kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly like, oh wow, I didn't know this was going to be this.
Right.
I really like it. That
Cool.
was just really fun.
Yeah.
Um, and then rewatched Oppenheimer. I need to
Mm-hmm.
watch. There's a few that I'm still going through, but anyways,
Right. That's cool.
next week I'll have more to say because I'll have watched them all.
Right.
But
Hey, Anchorman. How you doing? That's cool. Nice. Oh, awesome. Cool. What else? Anything else? That's basically been it.
that's basically what I've been
Okay.
watching, and then my normal rewatch
Right.
things that I rewatch constantly over and over again, which is just
Okay. Yeah.
my
Fair enough.
normal thing.
I've been doing that actually recently too. Max, what about yourself? What I saw that you've dropped the preview for part 5 of your comic.
Yeah, yeah. Drop preview part 5. I'll
Uh
have
huh.
issue 5 up soonish.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, I'm a little slow because I broke a couple buttons on my keyboard. So,
Jeez. Ouch.
but it's getting done.
Okay, that really sucks. It's about time to get a a new computer now, Max.
No, it's a detachable keyboard.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
I just need to get a yeah. But it's like proprietary. It's like a
Okay.
Windows
Ah, I see.
keyboard. I just need to get
Gotcha.
a new one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll
The
get
link
one soon this
below
week.
for Max's comics is all below. So if you haven't checked it out, he's up to issue 5, doing a preview of issue 5, and looking forward to check that one out as well. What else, Max? What have you been watching? What have you been seeing on TV or movies?
I watched Fargo. Fargo is incredible. The newest
Okay.
season. It's an anthology series. You could just watch
Right.
any season, but the newest one had John Hamm playing a extreme right wing pastor slash sheriff who
Right.
controlled a small militia that ran a small town.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
and it was an incredible season.
Okay.
I won't give away too much, but it was
Right.
just 10 out of 10 TV. And
Cool.
then I watched Reacher, the new season of Reacher, which was
Okay. They're still
kind
making
of
it?
terrible.
I didn't realize it was
I know
still making
this is a
Reacher.
new Jack Reacher show
Oh, okay. All right. Okay,
with
not good then.
Alan Richardson, the guy that plays Hawk in Titans.
Okay. That's cool.
And yeah, it wasn't great. At one point, they have drug dealers show up to a military base for a fight. Yeah, that scene alone, I was
Wow.
just like, what is happening? Why would anyone do this?
Yeah. Ah, that sucks. Anything else at all? Any other
Oh
going
yeah,
movies? Yeah,
I went
comics.
to a cool signing this week
Oh
for
yeah.
this new company, Ghost Machine,
Ooh,
Jeff
cool.
Johns' new company.
Okay.
Um, I've talked to Jeff Johns a little bit about the new company. It's
Right.
launching through Image, and they're doing a whole new universe with
Okay.
Huh.
returning characters like Geiger, and some new characters like Redcoat who debuted. Actually, I think in this issue of Geiger,
Okay.
but haven't had a proper series yet. And then there's a few new series launching like Rook. Yeah, it's gonna be a cool, fun new initiative through Jeff Johns, released through Image. Where yeah, they just have their own universes. It looks like they're going to be multiple universes. There's going to be one Jeff Johns led universe, and then one kind of more family friendly Marvel style comic booky universe that
Okay.
seems to be more aimed at children, which is kind of cool to get kids reading new superheroes. That seems like
Cool.
a fun
That's
That's cool.
cool.
thing. And
Whole
then
new characters. That's kind of nice.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I
Of course,
got
Image
my
would
big
do that.
Flash.
Of course,
Yeah.
it would be an Image
Oh, wait.
comic book thing.
Uh-huh. Oh, wait, what's that? Show
Yeah,
me
getting
again.
back to, I got this big Flash omnibus signed by Jeff Johns.
Oh,
And then,
right. Nice. Oh, jeez.
yeah, it's a big
Nice.
one.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, well, it's kind of it's a cool thing for Image to be doing. That there's just all these new companies popping up through Image.
Mhm.
Back in the early days of Image, it was all different studios releasing their own books, and then it kind of got conglomerated to mostly just Image proper.
Right.
But now there's all these new studios like Jeff Johns, Ghost Machine. There's the Energon universe from Robert Kirkman, his Skybound brand,
Okay.
which is Transformers, GI Joe,
Right.
a bunch of other fun stuff. Yeah, if anyone out there likes GI Joe Transformers, I encourage everyone to read the new Cobra Commander book.
Right.
It's insane. Slight spoilers. I'll spoil it because they spoiled it on Instagram already. I guess it's the big thing that they're trying to promote.
Right.
Cobra Commander has captured Megatron.
Okay.
For the first few issues of
So
Transformers,
the
we
comics
don't
are
know
now
what
tying
Megatron
in.
is.
The
Yeah,
comics
they're
are now
crossing
tying
over
in, yeah.
already.
Right. Of course.
Looks like there's gonna be a big event coming up. Megatron's been missing. We just found out Cobra Commander has him, and it's been like harvesting his body for resources to create new weapons.
I wonder if the film coming out, I think later this year, Transformers Generate G1 or whatever it's called. I wonder if that's going to have. One, I don't even know if it's live action, but I assume
I
it's gonna
can't say
tie
too
in.
much. I know some people within the Skybound brand, but I know that
Okay.
there's company wide they're tying things over. In the last
Okay.
Transformers movie, I actually know this because my buddy's girlfriend worked on the post credit scene of that movie where
Okay.
they
Yeah. Well.
switched the cue cards.
Yeah. You're saying
Where
that.
or
Yeah.
the not the cue cards, the business card. Where originally
Yeah.
it was a Transformers card in the end of the Transformers movie, but they switched it at the end to GI Joe.
Right. Gotcha.
So they're tying everything
Those
into each
crafty
other
devils.
now.
So yeah, the next film will definitely be that live action crossover too. So, but the
And that's all because Robert Kirkman was like, "What if we just cross these two fun
Match them all
franchises
up.
over?"
Yeah, you know.
Well, they've done that before. They
Try
always
something
mash
new.
up weird stuff together.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Punisher meets Archie or whatever. You know.
Yeah,
That's
it's a really good one.
That's real.
Funny.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's a real thing.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
He hunts Archie because he gets him confused for his target. A target looks mysteriously like him, so he goes to Riverdale
Yeah.
and gets into a lot of hijinks, just not being able to kill Archie. And then he confronts him and realizes he gets the wrong guy.
That's old
Okay.
school. That's like early '80s, late '70s or something, right? No, well, it's got to be like mid '80s.
I think late 80s,
Right.
maybe.
Okay, late '80s. Yeah, because I'm
Right.
thinking when
That's a
Punisher
classic.
came around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that. They do the weird Boom Comics does that a lot with weird mashups of all kinds of different
Right.
characters.
You know, the thing I checked out this week, they dropped Kevin Smith's animated show of Masters of the Universe Revolution.
Okay.
And the first part of season 2, basically the first 5 episodes of season 2. It changes direction. It's great. It's some really cool stuff. The animation on this show has been amazing. If you haven't
I'm
checked it
sure
out, it's
the
on
internet nerds
Netflix.
still mad at Kevin Smith. They're always mad.
No, surprisingly, there's a lot of people that have enjoyed
No,
this
there's
season a
some
lot
people
more
were
than
mad.
season 1. They got mad at him
People
because
were mad because it wasn't He-Man focused. It was.
I know it was all on
Teela.
Teela focus, and it's like,
But it's
I
like
was
Masters of the
fine with
Universe,
that.
right? It wasn't He-Man, the
No,
show.
well,
it was Masters of the Universe.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
name of the show,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, but people
Yeah.
expected the trailers kind of misled people. I will say that they were trying
Yeah.
to do a bait and switch on purpose.
Sure, but I enjoyed first season. Actually, I still enjoyed season 1 a little bit better than season 2 so far. But they've got another 5 episodes they're going to drop. I'm going to assume later in the year. But season 2 was a good change of pace. They've been the good thing about Kevin Smith is, and you can tell in a lot of his style of writing, you get this style that doesn't repeat itself. There is definitely a change of tone and energy in the second season of this show. And the first season kind of bases loosely off of the original 1983 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe stuff. And then they take it to that next stage. This one was taking what they left off with and trying to correct the problems they created in the first season, like character problems and character development and stuff like that. They managed to successfully tie into that, but they've also kind of tied into and tapped into Etheria, which is Hordak's, world of, so the whole Shira Princess of Power might be something that comes out down the track, which would be kind of, cool within the Kevin Smith universe of the original stuff. So I'm excited to see, where that goes. It's been quite impressive, as I said, animation-wise and story-wise, just giving us something different and taking an old genre of something and saying that, hey, look, with a good story writer, old animated shows based on toys still can have a
as long as the
fresh
story's
pace.
Good. It can
That's
always
it.
be good as long as the
Yeah.
story's good, as long as it works.
Yeah.
I know
Because-
that's the hardest thing. That's like the hardest
Sure.
part of like making it work.
Yeah.
Like from script to live action, sometimes a bad script can be a good movie, and vice
Totally,
versa.
Yeah.
But
But it also
whatever,
takes the
keep going.
script.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not like I ain't mad at you for making a Battleship movie, but like if it was good, it would be good. If it was
That's it.
not,
Yeah.
if it's not
No,
good,
you're
he
right.
was good.
you
You're
know what I'm
right.
saying? It's like there's a way to. I don't know. There's a way to. You're never gonna please everybody, but
Yeah.
there's a way. Where there's
No,
a will,
totally.
there's a way.
And the thing is, it's like, the He-Man live action film has been picked up and dropped over the last 15 years continuously. And it's not like Mattel are not trying to push forward with a live action He-Man film. It's just they just haven't done the right script and they haven't found the right, entity to it. And, it's crazy. But, yeah, I know. Kevin Smith gets a lot of toxic reaction to his stuff.
He talks about it and he just
Yeah,
he just
but
yells back at him.
I did some reaction videos for the first season and the first half of his series, and I was tagging Kevin Smith along the way, kind of thing, and I got hatred from people. I got the most amount of dislikes on
he's got
a reaction. It's like, fuck
Because
you, people.
he's got a cult following of fans. He's one of
Sure.
those indie filmmakers who found his
Yeah.
own footing. But
Yeah,
the funny
that's it.
thing that I think is people hate him for nonsense like that, which
Yeah.
is weird, doesn't make any sense. But he
Right.
doesn't get any hate for giving Karen Page from Daredevil AIDS, turning her into a porn star, and then killing her of a drug overdose. Which I think I love the guy, but come on, if we're gonna hate him for anything, he gave Karen Page AIDS.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that part of the comic, but okay, interesting enough. Hey, I mean, it
Still
changed
hasn't came back in the comics because how
Yeah.
do you come back from that? What do you just show up again and be like, "What? I'm back."
He obviously he obviously shook up the comic. I mean, enough. Whatever.
I
he
love
did something
the
different that
thing
you
about
haven't
this
seen
movie.
before. I mean, come on.
It's like the internet. No one on the internet's ever like railing against him for that.
But still, that's funny. Either way, Masters of the Universe Revolution. If you get the chance, check it out. I enjoyed the first half of season 2, and
Because you just can't come back from that. If you get stabbed by Bullseye, you get thrown into a pit and came back by some witches or whatever. But if you die of AIDS and become like a weird drug addicted prostitute, it's like a weird.
Okay, but hang on, wait. Isn't there a situation that Marvel are going to have a yay or nay to a certain situation? We want to kill off a character. We're going to let this creative content artist do it in a way that we want to kill off a character and let him do his own thing. Is that how that works? So, because Marvel are not going to say no, you can't kill off Superman.
The 90s,
unless...
early 2000s was very different. They were basically broke,
right.
and they were just like kind of leaning towards the more extreme.
Gotcha.
Stuff, and they're like, yeah, Kevin, do something shocking. And he's like, oh, I got shocking.
Well, he did.
And
He did. Come on, you can't
To be
deny...
fair, he does have one of the greatest Green Arrow runs of all time. I'll put that into the mix, too.
Right.
But this was a time when Marvel wasn't owned by Disney, and things were very different.
And
since then, the universe has been rebooted, and she's been barely mentioned because it's just one of those deaths that's just like...
Yeah.
You can't. It'd be weird if she just showed up and they retconned it away.
Yeah.
I think they could have done that. It's a little too late now. It's kind of like Marvel died of cancer, and they don't want to bring him back because it feels like that's a weird death to be revived from.
Right. I mean, Kevin Smith is good though. Even in directing stuff. I mean, in The Flash in season 2, he directed an episode, and it was the first time I've ever seen the actress who played Iris West actually perform like who Iris West should be. In other words, Kevin Smith got it, and he pulled something out of the actress to be able to make her go click. And at that point, she understood the character that she had not understood for the first, season and a half that she was in. So, granted, things went rocky from there on, but whenever Kevin Smith dealt with Iris West Allen, the actress kind of responded to what Iris West would actually be portrayed in a realistic light. So anyway, I'm giving
I agree. I
credit
think
to Kevin Smith.
I think he's an amazing director. I love all three. I'll put on record. I love all three Clerks movies. I love Dogma, Chasing Amy, Mallrats. I even like Jersey Girl. I like Jersey Girl. I'll say I like Jersey Girl. I think Kevin Smith's an amazing director, amazing writer. He's done amazing comics. I have a bunch of comics signed by him. I just he should be kept away from Daredevil. But besides that, he's amazing.
Fair enough. All right, let's.
I like Jersey Boys too.
Yeah.
Also, Anchorman. I unashamedly love the Clone Saga. Yeah, I'll put that out there.
Yeah. So, moving on. Just other quick little tidbits and stuff that dropped in the last week. Some sad news. There's an actor that I followed from some of his earlier stuff from Alien Nation. And eventually he popped up. Gary Graham.
Oh, yeah.
He passed away this week. But he's done stuff from Star Trek Enterprise to Alien Nation to lots of other random shows. It's just one of those actors I enjoyed watching. When in my 20s kind of thing. So that was kind of sad. John Williams got another Oscar nomination for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny soundtrack. It's his 54th Oscar nomination, which actually makes him the most, not just the oldest Oscar nominee, but the most Oscar nominations again. I think he's been in that category for like 2 or 3 years.
That's why I was holding up 5 fingers. He had 4 in the other hand, but you didn't see.
What's that?
He had the other hand up. He had 5. In his other hand, he's got 4.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see it.
That's 54. Funny. That's funny. Oh, yeah. But either way, which is kind of cool. John Williams can keep making music as far as I'm concerned for the rest of his days, and I'd be happy. It's always nice to hear some of that stuff. In fact, I was listening to, what was I watching? I was on TV recently, and I was just watching that in the background the other day, and I'm just listening to the score, and it's like, I've got the score, but I haven't truly just listened to it for a long time, and it's like, God damn, he does some incredible stuff with his music. So, lots of heat, just staying with the Oscars for a minute, lots of heat on Barbie for Greta Gerwig. And,
I do think she should have been nominated. I'm going to throw that out there. That was such an incredible, it was such an incredibly directed movie. I don't know about Margot Robbie, because she was this year,
good, but
for directing, that was literally one of the best directing movies of the year.
And the annoying thing is that the Oscar, whoever categorized in the Oscars in those nominations, they proved the point exactly what Barbie was trying to say. Exactly what it was trying to say, where it's a men's world, and the reality is, the female director is always going to be the back tier, unfortunately, in this particular case. And even though Barbie, for me, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like my kind of film, but I definitely saw and understood and respected the perspective that she and the take that she took. And I thought it was a unique take on something I thought was going to be
than a lot of the other films this year.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
So it's just it's frustrating, kind of thing. Ghostbusters is supposed to be dropping a new trailer. Is that right,
tomorrow.
Elijah?
Is
it tomorrow?
They confirmed it tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Probably like 8 o'clock, 8 a.m.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a reaction to that if you're up at all. Guys.
Oh, I'll be ready. I was thinking that it was going to get dropped today because they were hinting about it yesterday.
Usually Sundays they don't. Usually it's
I know, but they're hinting about it yesterday.
Really?
That's why, because I follow. There's Ghostbusters YouTubers that I follow, like Ghostbusters News.
There's a good one. Shot from it right here. I think this is, which is from they've shown like little moments or something like that. There is a character that may or may not appear in this trailer. I read something the other day and saw an image, so I'm assuming this character will appear. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's a return character that...
it's Harold Ramis. Again.
No, not quite. Yeah, right. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna wait till the trailer reacts to it. Drops it. But I think I saw an image. It's an official
That
image
jogger's
of.
back.
Oh, really? The jogger from the Ghostbusters 2 that gets. There you go.
The only human actual ghost is a runner.
Yeah. And then about a week ago, they dropped some images from, or a week and a half ago now, they dropped some images from What If Season 3. And we got a few images here.
Why are they dropping this now? This seems like such a weird time to drop these images. Not that it doesn't look good. The season 2 just finished. They're not dropping this anytime soon.
I think that we just reacted to it all, so yeah, it kind of just finished at the end.
Okay. I guess I was thinking I was good. Well, maybe I guess I'm a little confused because I feel that was Christmas. Was it all? Well, they weren't all Christmassy. Only I guess one was Christmas. Anyways.
Yeah, I still haven't reacted to that.
Like
and watched
more
it
of a
yet.
Christmas special.
Yeah.
That's true.
But even still, it's like, I guess they want to kind of say, hey, look, we're working on season 3. We're not just leaving it in limbo for you. We've got a continuing arc. I'm starting to think about it the other day. It's like, just looking at this stuff, obviously it's tying into what we got coming up with new content material to a certain degree. But at the same time, I'm like, where can they go for season 3, Max? Any thoughts on... Do we think we're going to see any more of the Doctor Strange story arc? Do we think there's going to be something new they'll bring into the fold? Or
I think season 3 will probably tie into something larger, like it'll probably reveal something about Secret Wars.
Right. Good point.
Or something with Kang.
Yeah.
I think season 1 and 2 was definitely introductory of multiversal threats and how large of a scope they could be.
Right. But we did have a semi-through story through Doctor Strange, and now that he's been taken out of the picture, do we think that
it's weird? I truly don't know, because they were testing out stuff in the last season, like introducing characters who aren't from the comics,
right?
And they do every season they do an adaptation. It looks like next season they're doing the Marvel mech adaptation.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is leading toward the way they're doing like adaptations and they're creating these pocket worlds.
Yeah.
Makes me that are like their own thing. Makes me think they're going to do a Secret Wars battle world scenario of all these different worlds colliding and trying to fight for their place in a recreating universe.
Pretty cool. I thought about something and I was like, I don't even know if I ever mentioned it, but it's like, what if Captain Carter dies? What would the what would
Uta doesn't have much power.
What's that?
The Watcher, Uta,
the Watcher,
doesn't have. I mean, the most he could do is send someone else to stop it. I mean, Watchers theoretically have world-breaking weapons.
But in this particular case, though, they've made this connection that seems to be more of an interest in Captain Carter through his end. It's not just a matter of this is going to play out how it plays out. This is like almost a love interest, it feels like. So if she gets killed, what would he do? What if he loses Captain Carter? How will he react to everything? And is that a possibility in a future season?
I mean, the weird thing is he can't do much. His job is just to watch. If the Watcher broke his vow, which he does all the time already, so it's not even a what if. We've watched this Watcher break his vow consistently.
Right. Yeah.
I think it would probably just be setting up a Guardians of the Multiverse again, or like a new Guardians of the Multiverse. I could see them calling them like the Guardians of the Infinite, which is another Marvel comic.
But in the comics, who watches the Watcher if the Watcher goes astray?
The Watchmen watch the Watcher.
As soon as you said that, he was like, "Who watches the Watcher?" Like, who watches the Watchmen?
But
in reality, who watches the Watcher is Nick Fury.
Okay.
In the comics right now, he became a Watcher.
Oh, okay.
To keep an eye on the other Watchers.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anybody turning in think we're going to be talking about wristwatches?
Yes.
Watchmakers.
Other Marvel content news that came out this week, they finished shooting. Ryan Reynolds posted a final a crotch shot of the final wrap of Deadpool number 3.
We've had a lot of weird leaks. What is on your guys' wish list for this weird movie?
What is on my wish list for Deadpool 3? I don't know. Matt, Elijah, what's on you? What's on yours?
I need to rewatch the other two movies
Mhm.
because I only watched them maybe once or twice.
Yeah, same.
But I'm open for anything. I mean, I just hope it's funny and they crack lots of jokes and like really like if they're really going to break into whatever this sequence was in front of the 20th Century Fox logo. I don't know if that's at the beginning of the movie, at the end of the movie, like an opening thing but it looks funny. It looks interesting. We all know it's going to be. He's like the Bugs Bunny of like Marvel. So like
yeah.
I hope some weird crap happens. Like I hope it's weird. So
I mean, we know that Ryan Reynolds has been wanting to pull in Hugh Jackman forever, and the fact that we're going to get this whole film just about those two, for me, just opens the door of like, you know what, just be fun. Hopefully, Disney won't cut it back and be shy of the jokes that has been brought in the other two films.
If they want to bridge the gap between all these characters, I think doing it in a Deadpool movie and making it lighthearted and just smashing it up,
totally,
like, whatever. I think that's your best avenue to like really mash these all together and be like, okay, it's all mashed now because of whatever reason. But I think it would be pulled off well in a Deadpool movie.
Right.
I think it'd be nice if Deadpool was like a secondary character in this movie, where it's just like it's his story, but like you're almost like going it through, like he's almost a secondary
universe
character.
through Deadpool's eyes.
Right.
I mean, how would he pull?
I wish they took bigger swings. I know they're doing a lot of legacy characters, but I think it would have been almost better to, instead of doing a bunch of random fanfare, to do a giant romp of the Marvel universe through Deadpool's eyes. The MCU specifically, like I would specifically include like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, like Captain America.
That makes sense to me. I mean, that's basically where I was going. Like not your traditional like you're following action hero, but like a different play of it. You see it through his eyes, or it's like almost he's the second play in whatever the storyline is. Like there's a lot of opportunity there to make it, and it seems like they're being pretty hush hush about it. So like it would be nice to go into the movie and be completely surprised.
Well, what if this is the key element of them pulling?
Purpose, I think they're leaking those big pictures of like because it's the only pictures we've seen have been from some random quarry. Where it's always Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman or some other legacy character. And it's like, why are the only shots we're seeing from this one location? The entire movie can't take place at this random rock
quarry. And it seems like, I mean, they could have made that, they could have just spent a day out there to like, fuck with people. I mean, sorry.
Well, right. That's what I kept thinking.
There's a good chance we might.
They really could have done that for an intro or a one-day shot or anything. It could have been anything, and they could have done it in a spot they know that people could have gotten. Like it was outside.
Possibly.
Like of course, drones. Like people are going to see it. Like they're smarter than that. They did it to like throw people off. And I would love it like a bait and switch movie where you think it's one thing and you go into the movie and it's like not what you were going in for. Like.
A Deadpool road trip.
I want to see that more in movies, I kind of like going in and not like, oh, this is way different than I was expecting,
Well, there's a very real chance we might be getting a trailer in a few weeks' time because the Super Bowl is coming up, and they're predicting we might get a teaser trailer for Deadpool, which should be kind of fun to see what they present to us and how they present it.
I'm going to be Hugh Jackman be like an accurate Wolverine, a comic accurate Wolverine. Where he's saying all the actual Wolverine lines. I'm the best there is at what I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be really funny if they really went over the top of the comic accurateness in this one versus the other Wolverine take.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Other Marvel stuff that dropped this week, Thunderbolts. They've got Sebastian Stan implies that Thunderbolts will start shooting basically in a month or so. Which is interesting.
Good. My other work we're starting a month or so. Work's still slow around here.
I know. I agree.
You're gonna be in a different state doing this. When you're filming it.
Yeah. Marvels is coming to Disney Plus February the 7th. So Jason will hopefully get the chance to react to this one. I'm curious to see what his thoughts are. I think we all enjoyed it. I had fun with it at least. And then the other really big news was Daredevil. First,
It's a lot of Daredevil news.
yeah, starting with who's that? Bethel,
Wilson Bethel.
Worth and Bethel. That's it. Yeah, returning as Bullseye in Born Again. So that's sounds like it's more than just a rumor
I
now.
like his bullseye. He's a pure
Yeah.
maniac.
The director of Moon Knight and Loki, season two directors, are going to be directing the pilot episode of Daredevil Born Again, which is
That's
cool.
cool.
I enjoyed the work they did on Loki. And then there's been some footage, just, we're getting bits and pieces of the actors have been on set and starting to shoot.
Speaking of Karen Page.
Yeah, exactly, yes. And so we've got these return characters. I think we mentioned that last week, you went around, but yeah.
Could you imagine they do the entire Kevin Smith story arc for her in the first episode?
The Kevin, oh, right. Hang on a second, let me try to find there's a bit of video footage there that, oh, there it is. So basically, they're just basically walking on the street. There's another video footage of them sitting, eating, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's getting underway right now, and they're shooting, hopefully, what's going to become a better a better story than they were going to do before the writer strikes happened.
I mean, I don't think that's very hard. I think the first season they hired people who were like so excited they were getting a Marvel check that they forgot they had to
Yeah.
make a Marvel property.
Probably. Yeah, sounds like it. And they realized it too. At least they had time to realize that mistake. Because could you imagine if it went ahead and there wasn't a writer strike and they dropped what they had put together and
Is this going to affect the budget of the show though? Because they already
yeah.
shot
Sure.
a lot of episodes.
Like 6 weeks or something like that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. How much do you
6
have to
episodes.
scale back to? Yeah, they shot 6 episodes.
Yeah.
How much do you have to scale back to still make the show like worth it? Do you just cut it down to 12 episodes and scrap those other 6 episodes that you shot?
I'm sure that whatever they
You
set
do a
up to
longer
begin with,
season.
somehow they can write off some of that, but who knows? I mean, I don't know how studios make that how work.
It's such a mess just financially though. Like
Oh yeah, totally.
strap 6 episodes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Money. Yeah.
But it also sucks for the people who shot if the crews don't return and it's like a different DP and stuff like that. It's like stuff those people can't add to their reels. Like that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that dropped this week, guys, Squid Games Season 2 will release later this year, they're saying.
I'm sure it'll be good. I'm surprised
I actually think
it keeps you as. I mean, the first season was great, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah,
I like the game show. So
I feel like I need to rewatch Season 1 because I only ever watched it once, but at the same time, I think I'd like to react to this too because, like, Season 1 definitely had me going, what
when we were late to it. Jason
Yeah,
saw it
absolutely.
really early, but that would be. We should definitely react to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm down for that.
It's going to get dropped on Netflix, so it's going to be like a all-in-one-go type thing. So maybe we'll have to really plan a way to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally. And then other stuff. How to Train Your Dragon has got its supporting cast with Fitchleg, Snotnut, Roughnut, and Toughnut. These are the actors playing those characters. Max, we're going to have to get you to watch the animated How to Train Your Dragon. You don't look like you're kind of you're putting yourself not being a fan of it, or you're just simply not interested, or
I just never seen it. I don't know. I'm not super interested in it. Maybe
Really?
If it had Cyclops in it, I'd watch it, but I might check Cyclops in the movie. Yeah. From the X-Men.
It needs some Cyclops in it.
Okay. In How to Train Your Dragon? What?
I don't know. I think he'd improve the movie.
No, the film's amazing. I loved it. Anyway, really, it's a really solid story. Like, story-wise, it's great. Anyway, I love dragons too, so what can I say? Dune 2, tickets are up on sale now. They dropped a new poster. Pre-sale advance tickets for Dune 2, which is at the end of this month, beginning of next month. So I'm looking forward to checking that out too. I'm sure we'll definitely review it. And then Kung Fu Panda dropped a few new posters. Nothing humongous there on that end. And then the other big news, Knives Out. The third movie is going to start shooting later this year.
Okay, sir.
They're reportedly getting Elizabeth Olsen to be cast in it. So
Let's go see that. It's going to be a another big cast. So
yeah,
one
I
name.
mean, I've enjoyed the first two films. I thought they were great. Then we also got Invincible season 2 part 2 starts
God.
March the 14th.
It's so frustrating. How do you whose idea was this?
What's that? Oh, to split
they
them up.
dropped 4 episodes, then wait 6 months or something with that.
It hasn't been 6 months. It's only been like a month and a half. Like,
well,
it's gonna
be like 4.5.
Oh yeah, it's by the time we get there. Yeah, I guess. Well, they might have finished animating some of the second half. You don't know. Either way, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and then we're gonna go on. Daisy Ridley, basically, is talking a bit more about the Star Wars story. So, she's just saying she's read the script now. She's very excited, which is kind of like, okay, that's cool. I wish I could be as excited, but at the same time, I am curious to see what is done with the story.
Could you imagine how crazy it is that they've announced they're making a new Star Wars movie, a continuation of the Skywalker saga, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we're kind of good on that."
No.
I know there are people that are excited. There are people who are genuinely excited. So, hello, Star Wars Viking. Who is that? Do we know you? That's funny.
You don't know who Star Wars Viking is?
Star Wars Viking? I do not.
It says, yo, Brent. He knows who you are.
Yeah.
Reveal yourself.
Like it. There you go.
You gotta know you from maybe one of the other from the other.
Possible. I'm not too sure. We also so jumping forward, guys. Sorry, I'm kind of being distracted and everything, but some of the talk today. The Bad Batch season 3 trailer dropped, and first thoughts. Elijah, did you check out the trailer yet?
I'm sorry, I'm reading comments. What did you just say?
Oh, the Bad Batch season 3 trailer.
Yeah, I watched it.
You watched it?
But I haven't watched any of the Bad Batch. But the trailer looks cool, and
Yeah.
I'm not big up on the cartoons.
You're not missing much. Find an episode, guys. Skips the fluff.
You know me. I'm hit and miss on the Star Wars. I can't commit myself to all of it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
No, this is the one show where I'm kind of on his side, where there's so much nonsense in that show.
Well, here's the thing, Max. I know we reacted to it last year, season 2, and I just rewatched this week season 2 all the way through.
And I keep myself.
And there's some really solid episodes in there that are very.
1 every 6 episodes is good.
Not really. Honest. It's more than that. There was actually only about maybe 4 episodes that were kind of. No, there was only 4 sidetrack story episodes, maybe 5 overall, but the rest were actually
they keep getting screwed over by Wanda Sykes, and then they still go back to her because she's their only friend. There's so much dumbness. When these guys are supposed to be the most elite soldiers, and they're such buffoons.
I admit I'm not a huge. Oh, Ireland. Oh yes,
he made an account. He's been watching.
Yes, that's it. Cool, awesome.
He's watching all of it.
Good to see you, man.
He's watching. I think we know who's been watching The Watcher. Star Wars Viking.
I guess that answers that question.
He's been watching silence, and he's been in the background, just silent.
But I'm going to go back to Bad Batch. So basically, the that's all right. Sidetracked again. This is freaking sidetracking episode today. But
the story with Crosshair, wouldn't that be really good if that was a fleshed out season in an arc, with?
I agree.
Keeping that for 3 seasons in one episode of the season, you get some development. It's just
there was definitely some cool stuff with Crosshair, and I agree. They could have used more of that.
Some of the ideas
character.
are really good, but they're so spaced in between nonsense and buffoonery and getting sidetracked. Miga's the only one that can save them all. And it's like, oh no, there's a big monster again. No, but it's just scared or something. It's all this stuff that's just running in circles. Well, it's like these big story arcs with Omega and Crosshair in the background that you get so little information about.
See, I disagree in the reference of what's going on in the background. There actually was a lot more than I realized going on about how. I mean, the biggest stuff was how the Empire treated the clones. I think that was a really big block of
Well,
the
yeah, but we
season.
knew that already.
We knew it, but we're actually getting to see this deterioration. And if they're going to be coming to the end of season 3, as the final season as they've
It's
announced,
gonna be them phasing them out. Yeah, I
phasing them
get
out.
that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I think there was some very interesting arcs that were going on in there that I enjoyed. So I am very
I do
interested to
think there's some
see.
cool arcs
Yeah,
hidden within there, but like
yeah.
stuff like it's like the whole pod racing. It wasn't pod racing, but I don't remember what it was
I
called.
agree. That was a
There's a lot.
random.
There was a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
stuff like that. And then they
Not
kept
as much as you
screwed up
think.
by
Not
Wanda's
as much
spike.
as you think. Again, on the rewatch, it was actually not that bad because there was stuff that really did flow into the overall story. I mean, the episode where they dealt with Crosshair on the ice planet with the other clone trooper, and just the what is the purpose of a clone in the Empire's eyes? I thought that was a very powerful, strong episode.
There's some good episodes in there. I mean, but
Yeah,
I wish they focused more on actual arcs
yeah,
because it feels like a lot of the story arcs are hidden in between the
right.
full scope of
Yeah,
the show,
we
where I
we
feel like
said that.
we've done the whole crosshair stuff in one
Yeah,
season.
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
How's
I'm
Ventress
kind of
back?
hoping that we'll
Science.
get to see a Rex point of view story. That'd be, I think we said it before. We want to see what Rex is doing on the other side of that, com channel, and I'm kind of curious whether, hopefully, we get something in the future, but I have no clue. We shall see.
I want to know what Omega. I want to see Omega and Boba Fett show up. They're canonically brother and
Okay,
sister, and they've had
yeah,
no
you're right. They've had no.
interaction.
Yeah, I feel like that is something
Don't
wants
you?
to
I don't you
happen.
think that's such a weird missed opportunity for 3 seasons of a TV show for them
Yeah,
to not mention like anything about that?
yeah. I agree
Boba
with
Fett's
this.
only sister,
Yeah.
like baffling.
Yeah, I agree with this comment here that Star Wars Viking says Bad Batch season 2 was low key better than Mando season 3. I do agree with that. I think there was stuff in the Bad Batch that was much better of a story purpose being told. But anyway, just jumping into season 3 just quickly, we get a couple of new things from this trailer. This place is Teth, which we actually saw on the left is from the trailer for season 3, but Teth is in the first episode movie of season 1 where the little hut is kidnapped. Jabba's son, Stinky. There is a lot of talk on the internet that this particular trooper here, who we've seen,
Be tech.
yeah, might be Tech. And the reason they say that is that what we saw that trooper in season 2 because they developed the new troopers that are the brain wipe troopers that are assassins. So I don't know what that deal
That's
is.
the other thing I hate about this show. It feels like there's no consequences for anything.
No, if it is Tech, then yes, I agree. I'm all for having Tech die and be dead.
I feel like
But
that was the one part of the show that had some real weight to it.
right, but then to die and not return in Star Wars is kind of like a thing that is going
I
to
know,
happen
but
anyway.
isn't that kind of Crosshair's story to kind of be the one left behind, be the one that he's felt to be left behind by the squad?
What do you mean by that he would die? You meant, or what do you mean?
No, if he's evil now or
Right.
brainwashed, working for the Empire, wouldn't that kind of be too similar to Crosshair's story of like having the
Oh,
identity
if
of
they
being
do that,
left
yeah,
behind
that's
by the
my opinion.
squad?
Yeah, no, I
It'd be a
agree.
little
If they
too
do that,
similar to what they've already done.
yeah,
It
no,
would take away the weight of his
that's the first thing
sacrifice.
that popped into my mind was that if they do make Crosshair go to to the good side, which it seems like by the end of season 2 arc he's going to become one of the good guys. It feels like, sorry Elijah, I know you're getting
No, it's right.
lost in all this,
No,
but
no, it's not.
but yeah, they're going to copy and bring Tech in. If they do bring Tech back as a bad guy or an assassin that's been brain wiped or whatever, which is a possibility, it means they're just copying what they did with Crosshair. I do agree with that. If that becomes the case, I would rather see Tech be killed and
Yeah.
move on. But one character that obviously wasn't killed off and returns is Asajj Ventress, who pops up in the trailer.
I want to see her
And
spike her hair into a mohawk.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
but we saw Asajj Ventress in the Clone Wars last, and it was about like maybe like the last time we saw her was actually when she went up against Ahsoka Tano and Barriss Offee. That was the last time we saw Ventress, I
And then
think,
she
in the
just kind
Clone
of
Wars.
walked off screen forever.
And then they wrote a book after the new canon, which is Dark Disciple, and they kill her character off. Now, the funny thing that happened when they announced this Asajj Ventress character coming back, his Dark Disciple ended up by getting huge amounts of oops, sorry, wrong one. Dark Disciple ended up by
Huge orders.
yeah, huge orders, like crazy. Here it is. Sorry, my bad. Within 24 hours, Dark Disciple went from ranking 100,000 up to 326 position in the ranking on I guess on Amazon
I
or
think she'd
whatever.
be an interesting character to see have like a
Yeah,
because that Dark Staple's about her getting like, not a Padawan but like a
yeah.
apprentice, right?
What's that? The
Isn't Dark Staples about her getting an apprentice or something like that?
I don't know. I've never read the book, but she does fall in love with
We've
uh,
been thinking of
uh
another book. But
yeah,
I think she'd be an interesting character to see have an apprentice.
yeah,
Because it'd be interesting to see how she'd be very different than Ahsoka, where she'd be
yeah.
someone who's very much trying to not project the same trauma that was projected onto her.
Right.
And I feel like Asajj would be very much more at peace than Ahsoka would be with her past.
So just quickly, just to fill Elijah and some people in out there who may not know, Asajj Ventress was killed off in the books prior to the Empire taking over.
whatever the novel book.
Yeah, there's a novel that was brought out that she gets killed off and dies, and her dead body is returned to Dathomir, which is of the home world of the Night Sisters, and she's killed by Count Dooku while she's trying to
There's also
protect
Dooku
a
with
character
this.
she
Let's
loves.
throw that
Yeah,
out there for
yeah,
Elijah in case he doesn't.
yeah. So ultimately, this happened before the events of Revenge of the Sith, and now we're seeing her pop up in the trailer in a year or so after the Empire, or 2 years after the Empire have taken over. So we've all got the big question as to why is she back. Now, here's something interesting that happened. The actress Diane Lee, who played
Asajj.
no, she played she was in
She
Ahsoka.
played Morgan Esbeth.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Esbeth.
Yeah. She actually posted a little homage thing that says, I have I always sing a music tune to my favorite Star Wars project. So she's kind of posting about the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer, but she's kind of saying this is her new favorite Star Wars
I
project.
can't tell with her because I saw her at LA Comic Con and
Hmm.
on the main stage talking about Star Wars. And
Yeah,
she's a big Star Wars fan and a big
right.
fan of Clone Wars and a big fan of a
Sure.
lot of the anime Rebels. And
Yeah,
it was her idea for a lot of the Mother Talzin stuff
right.
get brought into with her character.
But
Uh,
she'd be around at this point. She'd still be a
I,
Night
I know,
Sister
I know.
right
I
now.
can never. I just say I can't. I can never tell with her because she's also a legit fan.
Right, but if that's the case, if we do see an animated version of her character, a younger version of her character, is there a chance, because we know there's resurrection
It
within
would
the
be
elements
interesting to
of the
see how
Night
the character
Sisters?
got the Talzin sword.
Yeah, but at the same time, to be able to resurrect Asajj Ventress, maybe there's a way that this has happened, because here she
We've
is
already
back
seen
in
her
the
resurrect
flesh.
people.
Yeah, so back in the flesh. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, by the way, this is a animated look of what would have been Dark Disciple. They were going to shoot Dark Disciple as one of the Clone Wars animated episodes of season 6, and they eventually retconned it to the book later. But so it's all based off of George Lucas's direct vision of what was going to happen to the character. So she was going to be killed off at a certain point in time. But either way, I think we can move
Everyone
on.
dies eventually in Star Wars.
Yeah, but everybody comes back. Anyway, last thing I wanted to talk about today, guys,
Why can't
was
Mace Windu come back? I'm gonna keep throwing that out there until you
because
agree he can come back.
no,
Everyone can come back except my boy Mace.
yeah, the one who most likely is the one that probably could have come back and survived is the one that's probably really dead.
That's what I'm saying. He's the only one who we've seen everyone survive that exact incident.
Yeah.
Like, no, he died definitely. It's like, but we
Uh-huh.
saw that's what happened
We,
to Luke.
we didn't see the body
definitely
fall and
lived.
land and go plumb and splatter. I know. Anyway, let's jump on to Last Airbender. They did drop that wonderful trailer this past week. They've dropped a whole pile of new posters again. I'm going to keep
It
on
looks
talking
so
about
good
this show.
visually.
Yeah, look at these art posters for each of the nations, for the Fire Nation and the Earth
Did you
Nation,
see the brief
the Water
glimpse
Nation.
of the Earth
Yeah.
Nation or the leader of the Earth Nation? What's his name?
Yeah.
The guy. You just see a glimpse of him, and it looks so accurate.
Um, uh, 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 oh, what's his name? Jaiso.
I
Oh,
was like trying to place who that is, and
oh,
I
the
can't
actor.
even recognize him because
Yeah,
he's like a different. His head is a different shape.
yeah. But yeah,
I'm
this
still
stuff
used to
looks
have like the
amazing.
bean head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they dropped some more posters of the Fire Nation this past week of each of the main
I'm surprised
characters.
somebody
You
like
can't get those posters for real, right?
I know they're
Real
beautiful
posters.
posters. Yeah, they are great. Then we got from that new trailer, we just got some amazing. Just everything looks spot on to the series of the
Momo.
anime. Yeah, Momo looks so good. I'm just gonna skip through some of these images here, because there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Appa looks incredible. Like this is the giant
What about
flying
Azula?
bison.
Azula looks so accurate. Like
Azula
out of all the
is
characters, like you see, like oh, that's
yeah,
definitely Azula. She
yeah,
looks pissed, and like she's gonna kill someone. Like
yeah. Well, Azula's like the very dark sister of our lead villain, who is Zukio, and
Zuko,
she's
yeah.
Zuko, and she's even darker like than Zuko, and she's really
She
powerful,
scared
and
me.
she's
Zuko, as a kid, I was like, Zuko, I understood him.
yeah,
He had that, like, kind of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader
hmm
complex of,
yeah,
like, evil, but he didn't want to be. He was forced into a
yeah,
path because he was thought it would make him better. And
yeah,
then it's like you see the shift in him. Azula
yeah.
was just like,
Pure
I
evil
want to, yeah, she's
kid,
like, I
evil
want to
child.
destroy the other nations.
Yeah, nah, she was
Even though
great.
Zuko was at war, she was like, no, 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 you don't get it. We could
Yeah,
burn them from within. Like she was messed up in the head.
yeah, no, totally. We see in the trailer, we see the little spinny ball air ball trick that he uses. They've got the same sort of humor, but they're playing it in a realistic fashion, so they're not over the top animation humor. Is what I've been reading
I'm wondering how
from
that's going to play because I feel like
cast.
some of the humor is going to fall flat just because of the way
I
it's
don't think
very
so.
hard to do that kind of humor in live action.
But that's there was a great interview with the actor who plays Sokka, who is like the only character who doesn't have powers and stuff like that, and he's the comedy relief in the animated show.
Yeah,
But he's like you roll your eyes, kind of stupid comedy relief elements, but he
there's a lot
seems
of
to.
comedy in the first season
But he
though.
said that he actually had to study the character and how he would have to play that character to present that comedy relief as a character without being over the top animation.
It's
So
a
far,
challenge. Sokka was
yeah,
definitely one of those characters who was a very animated person. His face
yeah.
would have these big,
Well,
drastic
but so is
expressions that you
Aang.
just can't. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was about to say the other thing is Aang is also was very
yeah,
comedic,
yeah.
but it would be like slight bursts of childlike wonder
Right.
would be
Yeah,
comedic. It made it kind of reminded you, oh, he's really just a kid.
yeah.
And then there's obviously stuff like the cabbages and the Earth leader.
I
There's a
fact,
lot of this-
the fact they've got an actor playing the cabbage guy
Uh-huh,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Do they have an
Basically,
actor? Is he cast?
oh yeah, he's been cut. He was cut. There was the character
I was
exists.
so worried they would skip that, but you
So
can't skip that. That's iconic.
Elijah, there's a through character, and it's basically the same with any kind of Japanese or
That'd be
Chinese
Bobby
or
Lee as the
Oriental.
cabbage.
Yeah, there's the side character who always gets stepped on by accident, and he's
Yeah,
always
yeah, I get
in the
you, I
wrong
get you.
place at the right time, and he
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
and whatever he's carrying in this case, he's a
The
cabbage
hero
dealer.
is his villain just because of circumstance.
Yeah, it's just like every time they cross paths, he loses these freaking cabbages, and it's like
yeah. Anytime they
it's
cry,
like,
he loses
okay,
a big cart of cabbages.
Sure.
And anytime Aang rolls into town or anywhere else, he
Yeah.
ends up running into this guy and destroying his
Destroys-
cabbage cart.
yeah.
The guy has the
It's
same
like,
reaction.
no,
every
not my
time.
cabbages. It sounds
It's
ridiculous the
my
way we're talking
cabbages.
about it right now, but
that's not, I don't
but-
say cliche, but that happens.
Oh,
all the
totally.
time.
Oh, yeah.
For
No,
6
totally.
seasons,
guy
it
that like,
happens
hey.
sometimes
Yeah.
multiple times a
I
season.
just fixed
You
my
see this
fence.
guy.
Yeah, that's
A
it. Yeah.
scene will start with this cabbage guy and be like, "Oh, finally, I've traveled hundreds of miles to get away from that terrible kid.
They
We're
cross
finally
paths.
in this new kingdom.
Yeah.
I finally saved up money to set up shop here.
Yeah.
This will be my new cabbage cart." And then
Uh-huh.
Aang will stroll in fast as
Just-
possible on a speed of air, and the air will
Yeah.
destroy his cabbages.
Yeah.
And he'll
No,
just
why like
be standing there.
Coyote and Roadrunner like can't win.
Yes.
In the moment, it's funny, and I'm
Yeah.
sure
Aang
when we
is his
see what they
Roadrunner.
do in the moment, it's going to be just these lands are incredible. Seeing the air temple here, which is based off the animated air temple, We've got the ships from the Fire Nation, again based all off of the ships
It
from the
looks
Fire
so
Nation.
good.
I don't know, it's so cool just seeing this stuff in live action. I'm so freaking like I've not been this excited for something live action for a very long time. In the sense of something I've already watched as an animated form, but seeing it in live action. You've got June and her beastie Nyla, and Nyla is this kind of ability, like a half. What
Are
was
we
it?
not getting
Half.
Toph? Have they shown Toph?
Toph was second season in the animated show, and even though they're
Yeah,
showing second
yeah.
season stuff, I feel like they're waiting for Toph to be second season here.
I feel that's going to be a big thing at the end of this season. Is they're going to reveal Toph? But I thought it was so weird. They're
Possibly,
showing so much Earth Kingdom stuff,
yeah.
but no Toph.
Well, there wasn't a lot of Earth Kingdom stuff because they really didn't just explore that greatly in season one. But we've got Hey Bali, He Bali. I can't pronounce the damn name. I keep forgetting.
I can't remember that.
This is a spirit and a creature though, which is kind of cool. And then of course we've got you can't really see the image greatly here, but we've got the blue spirit, which was also in the animated. And I don't want to disclose who that is as a character because there is a great reveal to that character, and so we're
It's
not
the
gonna spoil
cabbage guy.
there you go. And then, and of course, as I said, the last thing we had there was Gatso. That's his name, Gatso, who was Aang's last teacher.
His former mentor, yeah.
And it seems like, from what I can tell, they're going to be showing the entire siege of and destruction of the Air Temple by Ozai's grandfather or father before him, the way he destroyed the Southern Air Temple. We never saw that in the animated series. They just kind of jump place, where Aang picks up, all this time later. But oh, here it is. And then the last one, yes,
yes. This is going to be such a good episode.
yeah.
Cabbage.
No. This is the
King of the
Earthbender.
Earth Temple.
Yeah. So basically,
He was Aang's friend.
He was Aang's friend, Boomy.
Aang was a kid. Yeah, that's his name, Boomy.
Boomy.
And Aang was super happy when he gets thawed out of the ice because he goes, "Oh man, I bet he's still alive."
Yeah, and
So he
Boomy's
goes
like
to visit him, and
over
he's
100
still
years
alive,
old.
but he's 100 years old. He's lost his damn mind,
completely
and he puts Aang through the ringer for. I'm gonna straight up say it, no reason, and that's not spoilers. This guy's just a crazy old man.
Yeah. This just again, it's all about fun characters in this show. The way what they developed, how they developed them, and I think out of all the characters in the series, in the animated series, the one who had the best development was Zuko, is like the Fire Nation kids. Again, we're following some really really fun characters,
and this will get all dropped all in one go, right?
I don't know if they're going to drop them in sections or in weekly episodes. I think Netflix have recently been doing this one episode a week thing
They
too.
went away from dropping them all at one time.
Yeah, I hope they do because I want this show to kind of have
breathe a little bit.
All at once.
Yeah, what's that? What's that?
It'll be dropped all at once.
Oh, you think they'll be dropped all at once?
Yeah, they already said so.
Oh, they have said so?
I think they might do a part 1, part 2. I think it was
Right.
Twitter read.
Really? See, I was hoping they would kind of like let it simmer because I like that time to think about each episode. Either way, we'll figure out a day or whatever, a time we can definitely sit down and like nutcracker through all these episodes because I'm really, really excited. And that's later, in less than a couple of weeks' time, really. And Bad Batch comes out, I think, this
2 weeks.
February 21st, and this is on the day after. This drops the day after, so on the 22nd. So we got a lot coming up to react to. It's going to be fun, and we still haven't reacted to Echo. I still haven't watched Echo yet. So either way, all right, guys. Anything else that you picked up on today, guys, or in the last week or so, or is it just pretty much?
I did want to mention there was a trailer. We can't play it here. Because I think there's nudity in the Red Band trailer. I don't know. I haven't seen the other trailer.
Right.
But there's a show called Shogun coming to FX,
Right.
that looks like one of the most insane TV shows I've seen in
Okay.
a very, very long time.
Shogun
Really?
or Shogun?
Shogun.
Shogun. It was based off the old film, right? Shogun. Was a.
I
Was
don't know
it?
if it's in the old film. It's about
Yeah.
I think he's a British guy or something that goes to Japan
Right.
to try and broker peace in
I think
it's during
that's
like
yeah.
15th century Japan to conquer a mutual threat,
Yeah.
and it's like a crazy
Cool.
psychological war drama.
Right. Cool. I'll have to check out
Interesting.
that trailer. Yeah, guys. Apart from that, I don't know. Basically, that's been the news of the week that we've kind of checked out on. Check it out because we'll be doing at least a reaction video for tomorrow's Ghostbusters drop for the new trailer. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Which
down
would
for
be
that.
exciting. And then, yeah, I mean, whatever else comes in the next week or so, we'll go over. Any Star Wars news or Marvel news or whatever, we'll go over next week, and we'll catch you all later. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining us, and we shall catch you next time.